We're focusing this year on getting children outside as well as the rest of us, since we've been trapped indoors. And of course, in the winter months when you're trapped indoors, you can sort of go at each other. It's really my pleasure to be talking to Miki Montgomery, who is with the Malone Center now as director. And Miki is going to be talking to us about everything important about youth, children outside, connecting to landscape, gardening, all those good things. So take it away and tell people why you went to Malone and what you're doing.
Okay, well, as you know, I used to be a lecturer lead teacher at the Ruth Staples Child Development Lab here on East Campus, and our main focus for early childhood was outdoor learning, all those learning experiences, knowing the benefits and the research of children being outdoors more often than not, and getting those natural experiences and getting to know nature. And so naturally, when I transferred to the Malone, which I decided to do this past August, after the Black Lives Matter movement, not the organization, there is a difference, I just felt really led to be there, not just for, you know, the opportunity to create interest in outdoor experiences for underserved families, but also because I can relate to families of color in a way that I felt they needed somebody who could bring the program to fruition in a way that it hasn't been before. That was the hopes anyway. So I'm at the Malone right now as the director of youth programs for both the after-school program and the preschool program, and we've had a lot of focus on outdoor experiences and just trying to create those interests right now.
So what are the age groups, Miki? And talk a little bit again, because this has such application to other families whose children are not accustomed to the outdoor environment.
Right. The age groups that we have in the preschool are 3 to 5. It's the Early Achievers Academy, and then the age groups that we have in the after-school program is 5 to, I want to say 12, 13. So kindergarten through 8th grade. So we serve elementary schools and middle schools. And just like what you said, there's different family dynamics in different cultures, where some families are used to being outdoors a lot, you know, whether it's biking or, you know, going to the park quite frequently. The interest has always been there for them, and it's always been something that maybe their parents and their grandparents have done with them, so they just create that as part of their family dynamic. But then there are some families that they don't have that opportunity as much. Maybe they're working 2 or 3 jobs, literally 2 or 3 jobs. Children are in either care facilities, or older siblings are caring for, you know, younger siblings at home. And a lot of times what happens is there's a lot of technology involved, TV, iPhones, you know, everything's about social media now, and there's really not a big push or a big interest to get outside. So just even creating these interests, or even showing the possibility of, you know, what there could be out there for these, you know, youth to explore, that's what we're doing right now, so that, you know, they want to get outside.
So let's build on that a little bit, or talk about what are some of the ways that you're able to engage those children, because again, this is so applicable across our country right now.
Right.
And especially since you have all these different age groups.
Oh my goodness, yes. Well, right now with the wintry weather, we don't have as much of an opportunity to get outside, but the first thing that we started doing was just making sure that our out of school children got outside every single day. So the preschool gets outside very often. They partner with Ruth Staples, and they understand the importance of outdoor environmental education, and the preschool youth get outside very often. However, when you think about our school age kids and how much time they don't have outside, with the lack of recess and the lack of time, basically. I mean, you get 15 minutes for lunch, maybe 10 minutes for recess for those who do get recess, and then our middle school youth don't get that at all. We've made it a point now that in our schedule, anytime after 4 o'clock, we get outside when the weather is, you know, nice, and it's just an everyday thing. We bring out the balls, and we even bring out craftivities out there, whether it's painting or whether they're, you know, making something. We even bring out Connect 4 games, just anything to let them know that you can do anything outside, and being outside is just it's uplifting. It's really uplifting. So
It is, of course,
Right.
because I do that with my students, as you well know, and live outside whenever I can. How do you foresee connecting, getting students outside to growing food, gardening, landscape, sort of the love of that, or and the skill set to be able to take that on for the rest of their lives?
Yeah. Well, we do. We have partnered, the Malone has partnered with a program called Beyond School Bells, who is helping provide materials that we need for those types of experiences. And one of the things that we've talked about with this partnership is the tower gardens that we have, which is indoor aeroponic gardening. So our plan is to just create that interest with the kids learning how to grow vegetables and leafy vegetables and stuff on that tower garden inside during these winter months. And then as spring approaches, we've got, I think, about 4 or 5 garden plots in the back. We're creating an outdoor classroom at the Malone. I don't know if you've known that. We've got our fence up and everything.
Great.
And then we're going to transfer that knowledge to traditional gardening, which is, going to be either transferring the seedlings to our garden plots and really creating an outdoor space where they can learn about just the growth of plants and then nutrition as well.
How do you, what do you see as the biggest challenge in doing that, to get your children engaged in that?
I would say that the younger group is much more excited about this kind of stuff than the older group. The challenge is, we have some middle schoolers that it's just not cool to garden. It's just not cool to be outside. And really, again, their focus is their interests have to do with social media influences, not experiences outside. The other thing is culturally, some families have been like, oh, don't get dirty, or
sure.
Don't touch that bug, stay away from that bug. Don't get your clothes dirty, don't get your shoes dirty. So kind of just creating a safe place for them to experience what they can to whatever level they can before they move on. I think it's the older kids, yeah.
Well, I love that thought, because of course one of the things that we will of course want to do is work with you, help you connect, our students who darn well better get dirty.
Yeah.
Or they're not going to pass a class.
Right, yeah, being okay with getting dirty too,
right,
yeah.
right.
And that was a little bit of a challenge when we started some of it, when we were doing some outdoor scavenger hunts and kids were like, oh, bugs, oh. And I mean, we all have to get over that hump. But if parents have been that way too, or families have been like, don't touch that bug because they don't know about it, instead of pulling all families in and being like, hey, let's check that bug out.
Exactly.
Let's put it in the bug finder. Let's look it up on our bug app, or,
do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Miki, I really appreciate it. And of course, as always, we will get back to you, because you are fabulous in whatever position you have. You are energetic. I can't imagine a better person to help get that generation of young people to understand the beauty of the world.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kim.